Roll call. Kevin Perkins,
Here.
Arlene Diaz,
Here?
and Melissa Panetti here. So, first order of business, I think we have to go out of order a bit here on the agenda, is to establish some application fees for the body art practitioner and establishment. So I believe we have some surrounding towns.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to look at these?
Oh, yeah. Sure, I printed it.
Start with the establishment fee.
It's in the packet I gave you to Arlene.
Yep.
Oh, you can look at mine.
Want me to read them?
You wanna read them?
If you want me to.
Sure, go ahead.
So the current establishment fees for East Bridgewater is 150, Abington's 275, Pembroke is 250, Hanover's 200, Marshfield's 250, Middleborough's 200, Plymouth 150, Weymouth 200, Wakeville 200, and Whitman is 300. Those are the current establishment fees.
So I took some averages of the surrounding towns based on those numbers. And came up with the establishment fees of $225 and the practitioner fee of $100 as averages for the area.
That is the highest, you know, one which has been the highest, 300.
With establishment and Whitman is $300.
So they're the highest. And we fall somewhere, could have been the middle, Marshfield's a little less. Middleborough. Yeah, I think that's a reason, to me, that seems reasonable. Most of
They
these,
came up with an average of 225.
$225 for the establishment, $100 for a practitioner. And it looks like $50 for apprentices, pretty much standard. It seems to be a little higher.
I mean, it's the only one we're gonna have in town right now anyway, right?
the first.
Paving the way.
Yeah. So, I don't know if there's anyone, if we want to discuss it, if we want to just decide that we're okay with these figures.
I mean, if it's the only one in town and they seem like they're probably a new business owner, I mean, I don't know, I think if we go on the little light side to maybe help them out, I think it's good to get business going in town. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get rich and support the Board of Health off this one fee, so.
And I don't think there's going to be a rush for competition for
I got
you.
it right now. Oh, good, for the budget.
Competition, yeah.
Do you want to
Hope
make a,
not.
So, do you want to go 200?
I'll make a motion to establish the establishment fee for 150.
Okay, hold on. 150, yeah.
And that's kind of East Bridgewater. Yeah, East Bridgewater. Yeah. What about the other two fees? Or do you want to do one at a time?
I'll make a motion for the establishment fee to be 150, practitioner fee to be 100, and the apprentice fee to be 50.
Okay, I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. So, let's move to approving the minutes from the January 10th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review those?
Yes.
I did make a slight change after listening to the minutes again regarding, hang on, where is it? Under the agent's report, about having a Title V for Mo's. Kevin suggested, I had the board suggest it, Kevin actually suggested it, so I changed and added your name to it, took the board out, and that he wanted them to have a inspection and have it sent into the office.
Okay. You want to make a motion?
So I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
we want to move on to the public hearing since we're already behind the scheduled time? Okay, so I am going to,
We could do this later. I'm sorry. We'll do this.
let's do that, we
Okay.
can do that later, or past the.
Yep.
Okay, so I will ask for or entertain a motion to open the public hearing in the matter of Jacob Capilli
Yes.
and the Ink Garden tattoo shop.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for Jacob Capilli representing Ink Garden.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Mr. Capilli, do you want to start with making an introduction to yourself and your business?
Sure. My name is Jacob Capilli. I grew up in Hanson, and I've been working as a tattoo artist for close to 5 years in Pembroke. And I wanted to own my own business and do things my own way. And I want to come to Hanson.
Okay. I'll invite the public to make any comments at this time. Doesn't seem like there's any public comment.
When I said do it my own way, I don't mean that in a way that comes off negative. I mean like as opposed to where I currently work. I just feel like things aren't being
Running the
Done.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, the business, I feel like it's being run poorly and it's made me unhappy, so I'd like to move and progress myself.
Good for you. I'll invite the board to make comments.
When were you planning on opening?
I mean, as soon as I can, but I was kind of planning on probably mid-March or April, hopefully.
Okay. Any comments, Kevin?
I know that the only real concern was just the class and certification, which he had produced that we all saw from Quincy, I think it was.
Yes.
Yes.
It was that, and I know he had since obtained, I think, a special permit from zoning, right?
So once we close the public hearing, then we'll go into discussion about the license and the application.
Okay.
Do you have any more comments?
No.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I sent in the syllabus for the skin course.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
also have made some copies of rough. I know that we're going with probably Ink Garden, but depending on whether or not there is an LLC with an appropriate or eligible name for that, obviously the name would be something that's not going to be off-putting to the people in the town. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable when they're reading. It kind of sounds funny, but I mean that. So I came up with a consent form sheet that I feel like you guys should have, and a tattoo aftercare sheet that has a couple of spots just kind of blocked off for like this is where the name's going to be, essentially. But I made 3 copies of each. The square is for photo ID. We have to have a photo ID.
And you have to take you have to make a copy of it?
Yeah, you have to have a picture ID, photo identification, either state license or passport, or if you're, I think that it's like in other towns that actually
Or state ID, Mass has a state ID
Yeah.
as well.
So it has to have their picture on it though. That way we can say they were here, trying to notarize it.
And I like all the questions on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, those kind of go in line with like skin provisions, basically. If you have one of those issues, if I don't know what the direct answer, we can always like figure it out. Which I do, but you know what I mean? But prescription medication, what do you take it? How does that kind of affect it? What were your surgeries? Were they,
Right.
extensive?
This is great.
And you're just gonna do art, no piercing?
No piercings. And if a piercer would want to come to the shop, I don't think we'd have enough room, but regardless, if we were gonna bring a piercer in, they would have to conform to new regulation standards set by you guys, whether or not you wanted them to have anatomy, physiology, that would be up to you guys to determine. I have the model regs from the state that do talk about that, the application types, the difference between the training experience between a piercing practitioner and a body art practitioner. Yeah, I don't know if you've reviewed those or if you'd like to see it.
No, I don't think there's been a call for piercing, right, that I know of, so.
Somebody should open one up because that's all we ever get questions for.
Is piercing?
Oh my God, they would be rich. Seriously. I don't want to deal with that.
So we vote on the license outside of the public hearing.
I'm gonna need a copy of whatever he gave you.
Yes. Questions?
No. How long did your class take? This is a lot, you put a lot of material.
Pretty much we stayed there the whole day. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours.
I covered a lot.
All right.
That was it.
All right, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the matter of Jacob Capilli and Ink Garden.
I moved, we close the hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, what I'm noticing is that we do not have it on the agenda to vote.
That's not included in the public hearing?
It's voted on outside of the public hearing.
I did not know that.
Yes. So, in terms of problem solving so that we can move him along, could we schedule a brief
Yeah,
meeting, board meeting?
Yeah, it depends on where.
Can we still do anything via Zoom?
Yeah. Oh, actually, can we, Teresa? Can we
Sure.
do it?
Yeah.
Can we do it remotely?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is it?
Mhm.
It could be a quick meeting.
And when would you want to do it?
What do you have?
Could do Monday, because
13th?
it has to be 48 hours, yeah,
Right,
Monday's
that's- I
the,
wanted to make sure we could post it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Monday, what time?
Um,
Doesn't have to be decided right the second.
Let's discuss the time
Yeah.
after. I
Yeah.
just don't know quite yet.
Okay.
And then, can Jacob be present via Zoom as
Yeah,
well?
if he wants to.
Or phone call?
Yeah.
If you're available.
Mondays I am available.
Okay, great. All right.
It's a multi-step process.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, my first public hearing
Yeah,
in
it's-
10 years.
And mine as
Yeah.
well, so.
You just
Learning.
showed up.
learning as we go.
Yeah, I had no idea.
All right. So we'll take that to vote on Monday.
Is it within reason to ask where standings might be in regards to decisions, regardless of,
No, we couldn't do that.
got it.
But thank
I
you
have
for.
one question.
Oh.
One question.
Sure.
We decided to do about the running water. And
The what?
The running water, as far as hot water, and you're gonna go to that sink, or what are you gonna do?
I was planning on getting the internal sink for the 2 stations with depending on the cost of the plumbing for the plumb sink between the stations.
Yeah,
I was gonna plumb a future pipe and then put the the vanity, the internal sink over it, and then get it plumbed. But like at least plumb it to where it needs to be,
Yeah.
if I can for it right away.
Thank
So I'm
you.
hoping that I will be able to just plumb it right in.
So 2 sinks? 2 plumbed sinks?
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure I have it
Yeah.
right for the,
Did you ever get the temperature on those portable sinks? I couldn't find it anyplace. No one,
I didn't.
yeah, this is weird. So, okay. That's all I got.
Okay,
That's what I got, so.
Jacob, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, sure.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll call you, Jacob,
All right.
with the information for the Zoom,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
or email you.
Got it. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, so, let's move to, oh, great.
Thanks.
Are you here for the septic?
200 Liberty Street.
Okay. Let's see that. Thanks, Kevin. Got too many things in the way.
I looked at it online.
All right, I did not.
I know just the 2 variances. He's gonna come up and tell us all
All right.
about it.
Sure.
Septic plans for 200 Liberty Street.
So I'm Jason Youngquist from Outback Engineering. I represent the applicant. This is a repair for an existing, it's a single-family home and also a business. So it's kind of combined use, but it's all existing. It had 2 cesspools off on the side underneath the gravel drive area that are no longer functioning properly, and, plus those cesspools. So we're proposing to upgrade the system to concrete leaching galleys that we've located at the rear of the property, out of the way. Because as they did before, that's gonna be a functioning garage in the back. So there's gonna be probably cars parked on the side, or, a chance of it. So we moved the septic system to the back. It is H20 loading, just in case. That's why we moved the concrete leaching galleys, and we asked for a couple waivers. One was separation of groundwater. It wouldn't be mounding up the system in the back and pitching water towards the existing garage. And the other one was the separation to the slab of the garage. We didn't feel like that was really impacting anything, but allowed us to put the septic in the back there. So it seemed like it was a reasonable request. It was reviewed by the Board of Health consultant there. He had a few comments. We did his revisions, mostly cleaning up with the plan, a couple typos here and there, fixing some things, and then we send in revised plans. That's what you have before you. So I'm sure if you have any questions.
Is there a bathroom in the garage?
So there isn't now. They use the one right at, there's an office in here, so they would go back and forth. He just wanted to put some plumbing in there so they wouldn't have to be walking back and forth. So there was employees that worked in the garage, they would just walk over to the office and use that bathroom, so they just want to keep people from walking back and forth, especially on days like it was on Saturday. Nobody wants to be outside.
Bonding 0.
Yes. So it did show the water line going back to the garage. So.
So how are you gonna get it back to the septic tank if they do something?
So we have it shown on here, we're gravity back to the tank, and then it's pumping back to the
You
septic.
have enough for gravity?
Yeah, we're pumping to the septic tank and then to the pump chamber and then pumping up to the septic. It's kind of going back and forth.
Cool. Next questions?
Yes, I like it.
Sorry, Gil.
That's all I got.
All you got?
Thank you, yeah, just
Kevin?
curious about that part of it, so
Oh, looks
just,
good to me.
All right.
So, makes sense, put the leaching area out in the back. That's what they're looking for, they're looking for the reduction from that.
Right.
That and what was a sieve? right?
Separation of groundwater,
Groundwater.
just so we can keep it low grade, so we're not pitching water back towards that garage side.
And your design floor was all calculated off that anyway, right? 3 employees
It
and
was, yeah.
330 on the house.
The garage, the office, and the house.
Oh, looks good.
No increase.
This is good paper.
Yeah, it's good paper.
We did get a batch that was a little bit thicker.
It's thicker, that's nice. That's the first thing I opened, I'm like, this is nice.
Our plotter wasn't too happy with it at times.
Yeah, I bet.
But, we didn't realize till after we put in the roll that it was a little bit
It's
thicker.
a little bit thicker.
It's
All right,
funny
give it back,
because
Kevin.
about a few rolls before that, we got the wrong kind. It was extra
Paper thin?
thin, and you can
Look
almost
at it,
see
it's
through it.
ripping.
And I was like, well, we can't use this. And then we
Not gonna hold up.
No one has any questions, I'll make a motion to approve the plan as submitted for 200 Liberty Street.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too. All right, so Chris is here. Oh, thank you. So if everybody's okay, could we talk about,
Jump around.
yeah, we're jumping a little bit today. Some things have time stamps on them.
Yes.
So Chris,
Yes.
I think we talked about Chris coming up from the transfer
No,
station.
flip,
Do you have any signs?
Oh, no.
yeah,
Yes.
sign
Yes,
and date
yeah.
underneath,
Right here on Board of Health.
yes.
Sorry. I'm learning my. Yeah, okay. So we had talked about having Chris come up and address with us and brainstorm with us ways to use our
Thank you.
RDP funds. Do you want to say?
I printed the newest sheet too.
Oh, you did?
That's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
you have it.
It's in there.
It's in there.
It's
Oh,
as
great.
of, it's
I have-
as of January.
Ooh, I don't have the newest one.
Yeah,
Great.
hot off the presses,
All right.
someplace.
Does Chris have one too?
I can make him one if I can find,
Peek at?
what? Yeah. I have to find mine though. Hold on
Yeah,
this.
take this and
This-
make a copy.
There's so many,
She can make.
oh, I
right
found
there
it.
in the hallway.
Okay, I got it. Hold on. I just don't wanna fall and kill myself.
Don't, please don't do that, we don't know how to do the minutes. You wanna know what it stands for?
Oh, I was just, how do you, I know what it is.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. Oh, no, no, oh, yeah.
Share, yeah, with Chris, we were talking a little bit about what it actually, what we can actually use the money for.
Oh, yes, yes, and this will help because this, the paper that she's making a copy of, Chris, shows us exactly what we can spend the money on.
Okay,
Um,
this is just the projector. I'm just trying to set it up.
Yeah.
Love it.
I had the laptop last time, but it is since,
So we have some grant money that we can put to use towards a variety of different things that will enhance or improve our recycling at the transfer station and around town. And I thought it would be helpful, given that Chris is up there 40 hours a week, to have him weigh in and give us some suggestions on what he thinks we might use. So, you know, I see this as somewhat of a brainstorming moment. And I asked Chris if he could come with some ideas.
So, a lot of the things I was able to do was like pretty much find like things with like the signage. So I did take a couple pictures to show. So, can you guys see this all right?
Ah, look at that.
So, like coming up, there's a lot of sign clutter. I was planning on trying to move some of these signs around and maybe like get bigger ones and other placement for these signs, because this is what it looks like when you drive up. It's a lot to read, especially the do's and don'ts sign, which is a little zoom in right there. That right there is a lot to take in as you're driving by. One of the ideas I had too was, you know how when we had new stickers come through, we had to get the sign bring it up there, and the last time it wasn't available when we needed it.
Oh, yes.
And like, whenever we close, different days, like holidays, we're looking for a piece of cardboard to stick at the gate, and it blows off, people get mad, they take it. So I did research, and I just looked on Amazon, and I found one of these particulars. This is just a particular sign that they use. Focus that. So what it is it's just basically an outdoor sign. And you can program this with a cell phone. It's a scrolling sign. This one here is looking specifically size. It's 14 by 40 inches. It can be programmed with a cell phone, a laptop, a remote that comes with it. This one here is, it's on Amazon. This is just roughly the cheapest mid-range one I could find. $487. I don't know if you guys have a special vendor you guys have to go through. This is just, as an example. And people could we could put say Martin Luther King Day, closing, Christmas, wrapping paper goes in the orange bags, or trip ticket prices changed, various things like that. Rather than making different signs, we could have something like this hanging on the shed. Anyone, any employee, any board member, anyone could come in and change it, or, with a moment's notice, an email, you could email us, we could put it up and notify the public, say, weather related, power related, something.
Okay.
Next, for the trip ticket kiosk, there's really no labeling what that is. A lot of people still ask me what it is. So I think maybe a large sign that says purchase trip tickets here. Something maybe even corrugated metal sign posted, I don't know, depending on what we have. This is a swap shop here. That's the sign that we just put in there.
Well, that works out well, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
not
came
bad.
out good in there. I mean, we definitely, as it picks up, we're gonna, I already have ideas how we're gonna expand in the other room. I've already started cleaning it, bikes.
Now, where'd you get this sign?
That was the sign.
I ordered it on Amazon.
Sure.
No, Mason.
Mason?
I think it was Mason.
Yeah, we
Okay.
discussed it last.
Yeah.
Just,
And one side is like a dry erase, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yeah, and I
And then
still,
this
I
allows
still
you to
have
put the
that, I
letters?
think I'm gonna use that in the shop to what we're looking for,
Yeah.
what things that we need, things that people are looking for.
Yeah.
We can expand upon that as.
Staples, it was Staples, that's where I got it,
Discover
Staples.
more,
Okay.
yeah. And this is just what it looked like before we did the swap shop, and this is it now. This is different, it's changed, there's more stuff, stuff's been taken out and moved. These are the pinch point stickers here, obviously. I wasn't sure where this presentation, what we were gonna discuss here, so I kind of threw the stuff in here.
That's okay.
I know that they had given us templates for signs, and we were under the impression that this company was gonna make the signs for us, kind of in the discussions that we had with them. But basically what can go in these, big brother, big sister, what they'll take and pick up.
Is that what the,
Yeah, that's,
scanned
the code?
yeah,
Yes.
I guess it's for a tax write-off for donations, I don't know. I haven't scanned
I'll have to go up there and see, the next time I bring it back.
Well, will it work right now?
Just,
Just,
oh.
I was just gonna say, hold on.
We could try it, let me see if
Hang
I
on.
can zoom in and you can scan it.
Try.
Oh, wait, you moved it, there you go. Yeah, it'll work, hold on. Yep. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you're in the way
Gotta
of the
get my
picture.
hand
No,
out
it does
of the way.
work.
Yeah, it's there.
Click here for a list of acceptable, non-acceptable items. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if we wanna
Okay.
print some more signs like that.
And schedule a pickup.
The leaf and grass clipping pile has no signage whatsoever. It used to have a little tiny street sign. It said
Did they run
basically-
over?
Well, the last time they pushed the pile back, it got plowed over by a Jersey barrier and a front end loader.
Something bigger.
So something like this, leaves and grass clipping, no brush, wood, rocks filled, stuff like that.
Okay.
Then we have the batteries. Basically, the batteries that are collected here are only supposed to be automotive lead-bearing batteries, so I was thinking, because the alkalines can actually go in the trash, but they're also made of metal, and I've been instructing people to put them in the metal pile because we get paid for metal and we pay for trash. So something like this, like a sign like this. And I mean, this, like floodlights also contain these batteries and power wheels, but I just, rough estimate what takes these. So there's supposed to be a picture this got knocked out of sink here. So also here, if you see, we have oil day, and we also have that white container over here. Takes antifreeze, and no one knows that we take antifreeze, so maybe,
It probably goes to hazardous waste days, the antifreeze.
yeah, and we have a company contracted, glycol blending solutions that actually takes the antifreeze out of that white container that I just showed you. Also, the tire container and the propane tank container have they're just these small, if you see, they're like basically street signs. Up here, they're very small, so I was wondering if we get like large signs to go on the actual cages themselves. And these are the ones that, I think they only take 20-pound propane tanks, because they seem to charge us for the 1-pounders. And those people have been putting them in the metal container.
Okay.
And Spiegel hasn't really said anything about them going in there, so. And then this is the other one, truck tires. I believe this is it for all the signage I had.
Okay.
And then I wasn't sure if there were any other ideas that you guys might have for, things that we can do up around the yard, like, I mean, I don't know, like, what's in that paper of what we can use funds for. I mean, there's lots of improvements we could do to the place. We need, I mean, we have funding for compactor units, but now with the increasing costs, we can't purchase more than one or two. Like what is appropriate, I don't know if any of that money could also be used for stuff like that. If, say, it's a recycling machine we purchase, say we purchase the 2 trash machines and use some of that money to purchase recycling compactors, because if we own the machines, that's minus the money for the rental costs. And new machines, these machines are ancient, the ones that they're using up there. So they require a lot of maintenance. Like there's one that is 60 years old that we're using up there that's, the limit switch seems to break every week on it. Like there's also like grounds maintenance. Gil had talked about around the dog pound, the former dog pound. There's a lot of trees growing around there. If we could get some of that cleared out.
I don't think you can use it for that.
Yeah, we can.
You can for cleaning the, you can?
Because we're gonna use that building
RDP?
Yep,
for recycling, so
Yeah.
we can reutilize a
Yeah.
old building on this,
falls under swap shop. category. I think I thought I gave you
All
one
the
of those.
reuse section.
Yeah, right
Yeah, I
here.
mean, if even if
Purchase,
we
construction,
can
or
throw it through, and what's they
maintenance.
gonna, they can just say no.
That doesn't have outside, maintenance, I would think. would be-
Where is it on here?
Under reuse, under public, after public spaces,
Oh, reuse.
but
Purchase,
that
construction,
says maintenance, I would think that would be the building, not
municipal
outside.
Swap shop structure.
It'd be, well, it could be construed into like access.
Yeah, but the state doesn't want you construing it any other way than the way they want it. So,
I mean, we could always bounce it off and then what's the
Yeah, I agree. When we did the IDP funding application, I did write some of this stuff down. Claire and I went over some of the stuff, and we did write it down,
Yeah.
present it, so if they don't like it, they can kick it back to us. Just sending out, we put a bunch of categories out of big money. We tried to get it up to like $25,000 when we did the application, so they don't come after us and say, look, we're gonna
sure you
take
can have
that.
it back.
And what were those things? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
And Todd, who's our municipal person, is the person to talk to about what we can spend. And how. It's not like there's not a lot of things on this list that we need lots.
So let's, thank you, Chris, those are great ideas. Kevin, Arlene, Gil, any suggestions?
Well, I still, I went over, we could do paving, I still wanna do it, a dual open
Maybe you can come
container.
out of RDP though.
Improvements,
Oh, but that they can come out of this.
it can come out of this, yeah.
What did you, tell Claire? Cause I
did
know
that.
she put it in the,
Yeah,
that
it's in the
report.
thing, yeah. Well, I should have made a copy of it, we did put in there. Where am I at, yeah.
I mean, the whole place is technically a recycling center,
Yeah.
transfer station, so.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna pay for
No.
that type of thing.
Now, would we put it through and then they'd reimburse us so we wouldn't know?
No, we'd get it approved
So I
first.
mean, what's
Yeah.
the,
We're not gonna-
we just
Yeah,
send it to them and
yeah.
they could just say no. That's
Yeah.
the worst that can happen.
That's the whole idea why we did it,
You
so.
know, try to get as much done as we can, and what we can't, we
Yeah.
can't.
No, we could get a tablet for inventory for swap shop if we wanted to.
So we did,
That's okay.
And the wiping cloths made from recycled textiles, we need to get the highway department to buy those.
okay, like recycling center, site improvements to facilitate ease of access, safety,
Where's that?
handicap access,
What section?
on other miscellaneous.
Am I missing something? Oh, okay.
It's the very top thing.
That's a pretty general statement.
Yep,
One of the only things that I really would suggest would be that sign. You know, a lot of information can be given on that sign, and a lot of that clutter can be eliminated too, coming up with, you know.
The signs that nobody reads anymore?
Yeah, there's a lot of signage clutter
No,
that
we
you,
do.
and you're right,
You
you're
have to spend
flying by,
money,
you're
and a
not.
lot of signs are
reading it.
printed, but the signs are
Okay.
very small, and there's a lot of them to read while you're driving by, like.
What were your other thoughts on?
well, I said the dual access container, I think that's something we should get, because, you know, you can utilize that for almost anything. You know, the battery shed there, that's wooden thing, you know, we can do something like that. If we don't do something with these funds that we have, probably by April, May, we're gonna lose some of it.
Right,
We're
they're
lose-
gonna
we're
start giving us
we're
money.
gonna- And they'll stop the fund, they'll stop the grant that we just, sent in too, so.
We need something for the light bulbs, and we need something for the batteries,
Yeah, so
so they're
that's-
not all there hanging out
Right.
the side of the building. We need something separate where people can put them inside instead of, because a lot of the glass gets broken,
Right.
and it's unsightly.
Park and
So
Fields
we need
did
to look at that.
mention to me that the sheds at McQuon will be up for grabs, and the highway will be able to move them, but we don't know what the condition they are in, if they're any better than the ones we have.
But I think we can use this money to buy a shed.
I think so.
I think we wanna use steel, I don't think, we don't wanna use wood.
Well, I know, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, so-
if we have only so much money, and we can use that
Yeah,
something
no,
else.
that's not, the
Yeah.
there's no limitation.
Okay.
So much on the money, but I think we can buy a shed. I think we can buy a shed, because I know we discussed this before.
Okay.
Like, we could have bought a shed, just put the swap shop in.
Right.
The problem is, where would we put it?
Right.
What about painting the building?
That's pushing it.
It's- Yeah,
I
Well,
don't see that as
it does,
good
the roof
recycling.
does need to be painted, it is starting to rust, you know, it's just
I
stainless.
don't know about that. It's, you almost have to go through this, to really understand all of it. It's a lot.
yeah, Claire and I went through, we put, between the containers and, painting and stuff, and, you know, we got up to like $20-something thousand, some paving. We can also do some paving in certain areas, so,
And you put all this on the report for
Yeah.
her?
yeah, we did.
The survey
She
that
came
went in, the survey that they have to put in.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you put that in as money that you wanted to spend this on?
Yes.
Okay, proposed.
Wanted to spend it.
I'm trying to go through and take the signs and see where we can use signs.
There's a lot of leeway in here. Kevin, you had a question? Thought?
So I'm just looking at here, the first one here, recycling process costs over $50 a ton.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but to break that down would be nightmare, so
Yeah,
anything above $50. So the invoices would all have to be broken down into two separate invoices.
So the first 50, we would pay for, and say if it was 95, then we could take the rest out of the funds. But the accounting is gonna be a nightmare.
Correct.
All right.
yeah, they'd really looked that over.
Because we
good,
did
so.
talk to Claire about that.
the other one I was looking at is, you had mentioned about painting. It looks, recycling center, site improvements, facilitate ease, access, safety, contamination reduction. I would think you'd be able to classify painting somewhere in there on that. And then,
Safety, prevent the building.
Not safety, no, I don't know how you would, but
Well, I mean, like I
contamination
said,
reduction
we
is
could always throw it at them, whatever
And then,
sticks on the wall.
and then down here, public space, outdoor event, recycling, composting containers and signage.
How many
And
compost,
we're talking about signs, I would think.
There's lots of
There's a
little
lot
places
of
near a
signage.
sign, there's a lot of signage in it.
yeah, how many do we have left?
There's probably
Yeah.
less than
Is it
10.
5?
Probably about 6.
I have 6.
6, all right. So when you get down to like 3, let me know and we can order more.
I'll do a count Friday.
Yeah, all right.
I'll email you.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
toxics reduction. What do
Yeah,
you
so-
think?
Oh, I know something.
Do you guys need anything there for like, spill cleanup, that kind of stuff? Looks like hazardous waste cleanup, spill kits, just,
Yeah,
just speedy
definitely
dry,
we could
stuff
use
like
some
that?
Speedy dry
Yeah.
for oils, because people throw like turkey fryer oil in the compactors. It
Yeah,
comes out.
stuff gets spilled, yeah,
We,
sure.
we collect motor oil, so drippage and spillage.
Or on hazardous waste day when you're doing that
We
too,
don't do
probably.
that on the site.
It's not on site.
That's,
Oh, you
that
guys don't
goes-
do-
that's a revolving site. So
But it never ends up in
there's a
Hanson?
hosting- Well, now they
If
do
it's
it,
in Hanson, it's at one of the school parking lots,
Oh,
it's
okay.
never at the transfer
they
station.
used to do it
Because
in
of the
Plymouth County.
Traffic,
Okay.
there's so much traffic in lines. Organics, we are going to have to start focusing on organics and
Yes.
getting it out of the waste. So I had sort of circled that, we're gonna need to look at that and see what money we can spend, and how we can do it to start educating people, because
I have one question on this whole organics thing. Is that gonna be enforced for curbside pickup too as well?
we don't have the capacity to do curbside. There is a company that does curbside.
No, like, will curbside companies have to abide by these same regulations? That's what I'm wondering.
But the organics is gonna be different, it's not like recycling. And so what they take in terms of the organics from the curbside is different from what you can put in your compost bin at home. They actually take more, but they would educate people when they signed
You
up.
know how we're mandated to not, we have to remove organics from the mainstream waste?
Yes,
Is that also gonna apply to all curbside collection in town as well?
it would have to, yes.
Okay, I just,
Oh, you're talking about the other companies?
yeah, I'm just wondering, because if we just do it and they
No,
don't,
no, they have to.
the place will turn into a
We're
ghost
the
town.
ones that are gonna have to pay for it if there's contamination. We're paying the fine, so I don't care what they do, because they would be paying their own fines.
All right, so we have some good ideas on how to spend the money, the RDP money. I think we should see what Claire comes back with. Does she
Well, no,
come back with-
that's what we submitted. You
So
know,
do-
it's part of the survey.
So
I
does
mean,
she
like, there's
need-
things, well, as long as we go by the list here, and what, we just plug those things in, so that we can get the survey in and the grant in, so.
Okay. All right, so it sounds like do we have thoughts on the signage that Chris proposed?
The only one is, I don't know that they would buy a digital sign, which is one of the things that he was talking about. The only ones that I've ever seen are paper, cardboard, poster. I've never seen a digital sign, but that doesn't mean we can't call.
Well,
Todd and ask
you could
him.
pitch and say, hey, listen, I mean, this sign can say whatever you need it to say. It can be flexible for all things, rather than millions of paper signs. This eliminates all of them into
Well,
one sign.
let's just get it from the source.
Yeah.
Let's call Claire and ask. And including the maintenance and the paving, let's get her take before we move forward.
We'll call Todd on that, because we did
Todd,
put that.
okay.
We did put that in
Great.
the, survey and stuff, so, things we try,
Yeah,
we're
there's-
cutting the trees around the building, that type of stuff, and that goes under, ease of access to the, recycle center of the building there.
And
so.
then
You should just make a real big list and just keep going down the list.
the steel shed and the dual access container, any issues with those?
No?
Jewel shed?
The steel shed
Um,
and the container that Gil suggested. The shed.
which container?
The dual access container, a 20-foot dual access container, to have at the transfer station like other towns are getting, just to have just in case things. You have an overflow mattresses like, Duxbury's got a 40-footer. So this is in
50-foot.
preparation, so.
When you say dual access, are you saying
That's
you
doors
put
and
them
back.
for both? Thanks.
Doors and
Okay.
so-
And how big would the
It's a
container be?
20-footer. I like to get a 40-footer, but 20-foot is more compatible to the place there, so.
All right. So let's let's work off this list and
Yeah.
get some answers, and then
I'm trying to
Come
find the
back to it.
signs, I thought I saw the sign thing here someplace.
there's a lot of
There's a lot.
signage notation.
Yeah, so,
All right, well, let's move on. I think we have a good list, to start looking at. Ooh, Chris, any final thoughts?
No, I was kind of just, being more of an informational type
Okay.
thing. And then as we find more information, we can do it in,
Great.
a month or so.
I appreciate you coming up, and your presentation was excellent.
I was hoping to have a little more time
No, it was good,
to put it together, but.
it was good. All right, thanks, Chris.
One other thing is, now, the swap shop, you guys had discussed would run till April. And so the place waxes and leans, so I can't really tell, but like, I've been kind of making changes. Is that okay that like, as things that we take, cause like, someone put magazines and we must have missed it, but people were bringing in like moldy magazines and trying to drop them off and stuff.
Yeah,
So I've kind of like said no.
Well, and that's supposed to be,
I think the idea is that you use your discretion on what's useful for now and what isn't, and it gives us a good idea as we come back together, probably next meeting, to decide if we extend the swap shop or not. In the meantime, I'll come up and check in, not this weekend, next weekend, and we can
Yes.
go over where the
Come in
hiccups are and whatnot.
take a peek and
Okay.
what's going on.
It looks great up there.
Thank you.
before we leave this topic.
Yeah. We might as well just finish the transfer station.
No, I just want to look at this, because we could do that to allow the library to buy things that they would need. There's a section we could give up to, 5,000 annually we could spend on municipally owned, and I would think the library would be considered municipally owned. To see if they need to add to their library of things.
Okay,
So that's another thought.
great. That's a good idea. Okay. Finishing off the transfer station, do we want to look at the proposals from Waste Management and Harvey? So there are there's one from Waste Management, one from Harvey, and I will add a comment to the Harvey one because I did follow up with a question. And then there is an email from Heather at Waste Management in response to a request, my request to give us an estimate on what it would cost if we were to, at some point, look to townwide pickup as an option. I think it's important we make sure we look at all available options so that when we field questions on this topic, we have all the data.
Right.
So what I'll add to the Harvey note, tell me when you're ready, is that what is missing is a fuel charge to his quote. Obviously, looking at the recent bills, there is a fuel charge, many fuel charges. So he got back to me and he said that it's fluctuating and that it's around 14% of the haul cost.
Spam, no less.
All right. So that should be added to,
That's realistically more like 200 than we're saying.
yeah,
And the Harvey Waste says that it's gonna take effect February 1st.
correct.
So these are what the prices are currently.
Right,
Right, yeah.
they're going up to this, whether we sign a 5-year contract with them or we
Right.
continue along as we have year to year.
I mean, this, oh, okay,
Well,
nothing.
okay.
Fuel surcharge is 14%?
14% of the hauling fee. Did you have a chance to look at these?
Yeah, I did.
Like, I don't know how we're gonna pay the bills with those prices.
And if you look at waste management, it's,
But just like the
Not
solid waste, it's going up 40,
And this was like, I'm like, we're gonna have to start selling stuff now.
well, that's for town.
Right, townwide.
And that would,
but the town-wide, I looked at the form, the L4 form that we get from assessors. They said there's 3,676 residential households in Hanson. So, and then I took the 1.5 million and I just did $3,700 just to round it. So that's $405 annually. Which it works out to be $1.11 a day, less than $7.80 a week, and they'll pick it up at your house.
But people that don't need that still are paying for it.
Right, but what is the price gonna go up with these prices?
know.
I mean, the
So-
municipal solid waste per ton is going up $44.50 a ton. Like,
so,
can't afford that.
so I think, you know, I think we needed to have this put on paper. So that we can, you know, very clearly now see that there is a dire need to think about this in a very real way. I mean, it's just not sustainable. As far as I can see. I did, as we discussed, I did set a meeting with FinCom, the Joe Weeks, our liaison from the select board, and Eric Kinshroff, who's the new town accountant who I just met before this meeting, and we're gonna meet Friday at 4 to go over this. Obviously, they need to be brought in, given the financial impact, which is substantial. So we've run numbers since I came on board here. We've run numbers based on numbers that are nowhere near what we have in front of us now.
Right,
So all
right.
of that work is sort of for naught. It's now, 30% higher?
And continuing to go up.
And
with-
continuing
Yeah,
to go
with
up.
I mean,
control.
it's,
So, we have some things to think about.
Do we know what we would need to do to devolve the enterprise fund?
So that's question, number one, when I meet with, whether or not we do that is another
But we still
question.
need
But
to know what the process is.
to learn the process will be, Friday at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's very, what's glaring is that the concept from 2014 is no longer viable. The concept of the transfer station being something that will be self-sustaining by just, relatively low sticker fees and some trip tickets, it's not possible.
Yeah. And I don't know if anybody projected into the future.
Well, I don't think
I don't think
you
any,
could.
but I don't
know.
think anybody,
Expected
no.
things to go nuts.
When Teresa handed me the bill for December, it was mind blowing. So.
And the amount that's on the budget is just 30% higher than what it was the previous year. We plug that number in, so,
And it went up it's gone up the last 3 years, so.
I'm just saying last year's budget, so.
10.
Yeah. So,
There's,
yeah,
I mean, there's not even enough money to pay the bills for the rest of the fiscal year.
One way or another, there'll have to be a town meeting article where you dissolve the enterprise fund or go for, the,
We'll probably have to do
Additional.
both, ask for more money.
you
and
have to ask for
dissolve
more
the
money
funds.
if you dissolve the fund. I mean, if it was, in the tax base years ago, and they took it out, and they.
What's
put
the
it back
deadline
in,
for
so
submitting, articles?
It's March something, I think it
we should
is.
have a little bit. So I think, what I would like to do is, if the two of you are okay with this, is, take your questions now, anything you want me to ask on Friday, present it to everybody, FinCom, the accountant, and get some feedback on what the numbers people see, what they suggest, what they'd like us to look at, and then I do think it requires us working very closely with them.
Yep, mine would only be the process of development.
Okay.
Enterprise fund.
Okay.
Would be my top
Great.
question.
All right. Kevin, you have any things you want me to make sure I address?
No, it seems like we got limited options, so
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
option A.
that's true. Yeah. So one way or another, I think the bottom line is there's a price increase coming somewhere.
Yeah, but I just don't, where? Yeah. And if you decided to go with the, trash pickup, it's 12 to 18 months before
Right,
that can take effect, so what do you do in the meantime?
right.
Unless they rent the trucks, and then, I don't know.
Which is, I think it was what?
It was 1.6, I think.
1.6, from 1.48 to 1.62.
One point, yeah, yep.
So,
I don't think, $405 is outrageous for curbside pickup. I think people would, not all, but again, you can't please all, no matter what the board decides, there's gonna be a group that's not happy.
yep.
Can I ask a question on the subject? My question is how come they can do it for that price, but we can't? Our prices keep going up, but $405 a household, which is what, a buck a day?
It's, hold on.
Like a buck something a day?
It's, 405 annually, $101.25 a quarter, $33.75 a month, $7.79 a week, or $111 a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
people are paying more than that. What was it you said for the quarter? They pay more than that.
101.25 a quarter.
People are paying more than that because they're on Facebook. They go jump from company to company
Yeah.
because the prices keep going up.
The prices are going up everywhere. I think the what I think you're asking is like the transfer station, we can't raise, sticker fees
yeah, there's only
perpetually.
two of us working there, they have
But the
fleets of
companies,
trucks and,
the companies have all of that equipment that they own, they're not paying for it. We don't. We're paying for everything. From soup to nuts, we pay for it. They might have contracts with wherever they dump. They might own their own facilities. They've got a lot more money invested in than we do. So they can afford to do curbside. They do it everywhere, and they do a large volume of it. We can't. We can't pay for every single thing and stay above. We just can't.
So my proposal is that we make sure we have the outcome of the meeting on the 10th with everybody on the next agenda so that we can come back together on a topic and I'll certainly summarize everything we discuss and then we continue this process, but we'll probably need to be making some decisions for March, come the March meeting. Sound good?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Okay.
as good as it can.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, let's do the revised minutes from the April 5th, 2000. No, you were all set, sorry, Chris, I thought I said made that clear.
Station, I was wondering if you still need. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris, bye.
See this right here in 1 second. Liz, did you have to add the votes?
I had to add that, and then
Yes.
I added some more things pertaining to Snow Street,
Yep.
just more in depth.
Okay.
Yeah, just more in depth. So, then I was questioning, Melissa was not on the board,
Right, Dennis was here then.
Dennis
Right.
was here then. But since it's, what I'm not sure of is, since you have an affiliation with Snow Street, if you can vote, however, it's a vote to accept the minutes, it's
It is,
not
it's
a
not.
vote
And we didn't take
specific
a
to.
vote at that meeting about that property. We only
Correct.
talked about the fact that it had expired and whether or not we were gonna continue.
Yes, Dennis
make
said he
people
wanted it on
reapply.
the
It was not a
agenda,
vote.
he wanted it, and he said in the meeting, I just wanted it on the agenda in case somebody came to ask questions.
Right, I think you said at some point, right, but no, we didn't vote on it at that meeting, so we're just
No.
talking about the minutes.
Right.
It's not specifically that, so I don't feel like I have to recuse myself,
Okay.
for that. And you, I'm sure, probably want to abstain.
I'll abstain, yeah.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a chance to review this?
I looked at them, but it was a long, long time ago.
Oh,
I mean, it,
look at, take
I-
time and look
no,
at
I'm
them.
seeing,
'cause
I'm
I
seeing,
know I
I'm
had
seeing
them.
the meeting was so long ago.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no.
I sent you the revised minutes, though.
I did, I
Yeah,
looked at,
okay,
I looked at the
okay. I thought I
revised
just
minutes
saw them
and
here.
and I compared them with what the, decision was from
State?
the state.
Yep,
And I think all the deficiencies were addressed, but
And I thought it was more like the roll call.
right, I
They wanted
didn't, and, right, and I never knew
Individual
that.
person
Yeah.
voted, and I didn't think we did that back then for any of the meetings, I mean, because it was Zoom. It was on Zoom. we had
well,
record of it.
Zoom
Yeah.
typically, you do a roll call vote.
It just wasn't written in our minutes afterwards, so we did do roll call votes. It just wasn't out, like
Right.
Kevin
Spelled
voted
out.
this way,
Yeah.
Eileen voted yes or no, abstained or whatever. It just wasn't written out in the minutes, was what I'm saying. It's not that we didn't do it, it's just, it wasn't written out, and so,
Right.
and I think that was what I took away from that. What they wanted
Wasn't one of the
included.
comments something about the transfer station was abbreviated as TS?
Yes.
Wasn't that an issue as
Yeah.
well?
Was that, I couldn't figure out what the abbreviation was.
That was
On
the
the-
only
on the
abbreviation I
agenda
could
and the
come
On
up
the
with.
agenda?
Mm-hmm,
Oh, okay.
Of abbreviating transfer station as TS, that it,
People wouldn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't, I skimmed right over this, I don't know what abbreviation they're talking about. Yeah. I know I saw minutes here somewhere. You gave us copies, right?
I don't remember.
I looked at
swore I
everything in
saw
the
them.
email.
I swore.
Well, I mean, I emailed it to everybody.
No, you did that, but I thought I
Yeah.
saw them today, so I didn't know if Kevin wanted to take a look at them. I guess that's what I'm saying.
I looked at the amended minutes. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I didn't sit there with a magnifying glass and look that over along with the determination from the state to make sure, I'm not an attorney, but although I do play one on TV.
Yeah, it's probably in the packet for signing things, it's probably in the folder, the
See if
red
it's in here.
folder.
I know I've seen it.
Yeah, it would be,
I know
because
I
somebody
saw
has to
them
sign
since I've
it.
been sitting
It would
here.
be, they're in the very
Probably in
back,
the
the
back.
minutes are in the very back.
On the back.
Here we go. This is,
Two together, probably.
no, it's not. Hold on 1 second. Could be this.
I know I saw them. There were two
What's the
sets.
date on the top?
They were all emailed to us a while back.
No,
But you had them here for us to
Yes,
sign.
I did email them.
Yeah.
They're in there for us to sign.
Yeah, they were in the very back.
Yeah, look.
here they are. Here you go.
All right, no, give it to Kevin, I wasn't sure if he wanted to take a peek at it. I know it's so, I just couldn't remember where I saw them. When I saw them. Yeah, because I did look at them and I noticed that it was each person individually, you noted what the vote was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go into depth about the abbreviations and so. That sound like an alarm or somebody opening a door?
No, it's Frank coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay to me. I'm just saying, I don't, know for a fact that it addresses all the issues that we had, that's all. I have no problem accepting and voting to accept the amended minutes,
Right.
just not necessarily that
You don't have a printed copy of the complaint.
I feel confident that it addresses all of what.
You don't think it does?
No, I'm just
He's not
saying,
sure.
I don't know.
He's not
I'm-
sure.
Okay.
You know, there was an attorney involved in preparing a response to it, so I think maybe town council should be involved in the solution to it. That's just my opinion, but. I mean, why would they be involved in, up to this point, and then not the solution or the resolution of it?
Or you mean checking on whether or not we did it correctly?
Making sure it's in compliance.
I mean, what's the point of them being involved up to this point, and then they're not involved in at least looking
But
over the
I don't-
minutes?
Did it go to them? Because he requested a review of the complaint, and I think it came back to us. So I don't know if it went back to town council after that, because it wasn't a new complaint. He had already resolved it
Town council had drafted a response for the board to the state.
for the first original complaint.
Mhm.
Which then there was a review after that point that was asked for. And the second thing that we just got was based on the review. So it was we had already gotten something from the state saying fine. Then a review was requested, and when they reviewed it, they said, yes, it doesn't say who did what, and this is not in the transfer station thing. So that would have gone back to town council, because it wasn't an initial complaint, it was a review of an existing one that he had already responded to. And the state was saying, okay, by the way, yes, you need to fix this and this. But I don't think it went back to him. You didn't get it from town council, right?
No, I got it from the state. Hold on.
I'm looking to it. I have it, but I
Violation
think
provided insufficient specificity in the meeting notice. We order immediate and future compliance with the law's requirements and caution, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's just saying, it just said that, oh, wait a minute, maybe that's the other one, hold on. Although we declined to formally review the sufficiency of the notice for the April 5th meeting, we note that some of the topics included on the notice, such as generator for TS fees, bulk load items, may have been insufficient to reasonably advise the public of the issues to be discussed, which is the abbreviation. Let me see. Additionally, our office discourages the use of abbreviations or acronyms that are not widely understood by the public. We declined to review the allegation that the board did not provide the complainant with timely individual notice of the April 5th meeting. In addition to being untimely, this allegation, even if true, would not constitute a violation. We finally, with respect to the the open meeting law requires that the public body create and maintain accurate minutes for all meetings, including executive sessions, setting forth the date, time, members present, a list of documents and other exhibits used at the meeting, the decision made, and the actions taken, including the record of all votes. When reviewing the minutes for compliance with the open meeting law, God, we look for substantial compliance with the accuracy. Hold on.
So that encompasses the votes.
We did not. Meeting minutes must include a substantive summary of the discussion on each topic. A statement that a discussion was held is insufficient to comply with the law. Hold on. Complaint specifically alleges that April 5th meeting minutes are insufficient with respect to the discussion of Snow Street property, alleging that it is unclear from the minutes whether the board voted or took any action. That's because
We didn't.
that's not why it was on the agenda. With respect to the topics, and that the minutes reflect none of the conversation held. With respect to discussion of the Snow Street property, the minute state plan was approved, and it just says what it says. Let's see. Although it may have been helpful for the minutes to include more detail, we find that the summary of the board's brief discussion in the Snow Street included in the minutes meets the minimum requirement. They failed to summarize any other discussions held during the meeting, instead simply listing motions made and votes taken. Additionally, the minutes failed to list the documents used at the meeting and failed to record votes by roll call, which I
Right.
didn't even know we needed to
Right,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. Insufficient, we order the board within 30 days of the date of this letter to amend the minutes of its April 5th meeting to include a summary of all discussions held, a list of all documents used, and a record of all roll call votes.
Which you did.
Documents in there.
I think I did that. Is that attached to that, or did I do a separate form? I think I did a separate form for that. Hold on. Let me see.
It said that they discourage the use of abbreviations, but is it necessarily incorrect?
I think if it's an abbreviation that everybody
Everybody would
understands, that's
not everybody would
widely
know what TS is.
understood.
Yeah, but if you
Okay,
said
hold on.
TS, not, public wouldn't
Gotta
understand
go
that that's
back,
transportation.
document list, yeah, I have a separate document list. Letter and plan of proposed building foundation submitted for 745 Winter Street. Updated transfer station fee schedule, letter from the health agent regarding soil evaluator class, and minutes from March 15th, Board of Health meeting.
So that, you hadn't included the list of those documents.
Yeah,
You've never had in the past, I
in
know.
the 10 years I've been here, I
And
didn't
you
have.
have,
Well,
you have a,
Now we know.
We have to now.
Oh, no, now we know.
you have a septic design plan for 624 State Street. It should be on there too, right?
Okay, hold on. Proposed plan for, what is it?
624
624,
State Street.
okay. Should probably propose septic plan.
Should we change where it says IA septic system just to say, innovative alternative?
So, right,
Hold on.
so people understand what that means, because,
I
yeah.
mean, I think BOH probably shouldn't be an issue. I would think most people understand BOH is Board of Health, but, I mean, maybe we should address that too.
I think moving forward, it's better to just not
Write
use
it out.
any abbreviations and
Okay.
err on the side of good caution.
More is better,
Yep.
to make sure that there's no way they could have misunderstood that BOH was brought out.
Exactly.
Where was the IA, Kevin?
That's,
Number 8.
he's looking at it on.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Okay, and what, I don't even know what IA stands for.
Okay.
Innovative alternative.
She still doesn't know what you're talking about, but she's
No,
right.
I know, because I never heard anybody say innovative alternatives, and everybody just says IA system. Yeah.
Not well. For the public that have never heard of it before,
Okay.
they still won't know what it is, but they'll be able to look it up and Google it.
Okay, so what do you wanna do about the minutes, people?
You wanted to amend those, the things that were missing, right, Karen? You wanted her to amend it to include.
I did just do that, I did just
Okay.
do that,
She's doing.
but,
Oh, okay, no.
but now, who am I sending those to? Am I sending them to town council? Am I sending them back to the state?
They came from the state, right?
They
Did
did?
she ask you to send it back, or did she just tell you to fix it?
No, it has to be sent back to
Oh, you
the
have,
state.
okay.
My understanding is that it can be dealt with tonight and then sent off to the TA and,
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Right, it just needs to be
I
addressed.
didn't even know she was involved.
I don't have a concern
Yeah.
with accepting minutes, I'm just saying that I don't wanna sit here and make the determination that, yes, we addressed everything that came down from the state on it.
So,
You know,
but
I
it's,
don't, I don't necessarily wanna own that, that's all.
yeah, but it's
I
gonna
mean,
go to Lisa.
To the best of my knowledge, it appears that we did. With the edits that Teresa had just done, I think we got it under control, but
Lisa can either decide or she can send it to town council.
Then you got,
and then back to the state.
on 624 State Street too, you got SAS under there. I mean, I don't know if most people would understand that either. Just going, going forward or,
All right.
it's on C.
Their electric.
Usually I take that wording right from the plan.
Yeah.
This is
So-
23 or 34.
I mean, it is, that's what everyone refers to it as, I'm just saying, it's,
No, that's fine.
It's crazy, it just.
624,
It's going on and on.
624.
They have a municipal rate.
To the leaching field,
Leaching field, leave it alone. Most people should know what
Kevin?
that is, right?
well, SAS is soil absorption system. That's what it's abbreviated for. I'm just saying, if that's what they discourage the
Right.
use of abbreviations. I'm just saying, if we're trying to do things
We
right,
might
that's
as well
all.
go through and look at everything.
All right.
Sufficiently amended?
Yeah, yes.
Did we get all the abbreviations?
I'll go through it again.
You wanna look at it?
I mean, it's stuff I don't even notice because that's the way
Because
it's,
you do it, you've done it that way.
Okay.
Do we need to put perk? Does perk need to be spelled out? Would the general public know what a perk is?
I don't know, this
Well-
is just all to my point, that's all I'm saying, is
Right.
I agree with the minutes and I think they're
Oh,
fine.
yeah, I
I'm just
understand that,
saying,
right.
I don't
Well-
personally wanna be
Well,
on
it's
the
a-
hook for accepting
it's a
minutes
perk
that-
test. That's what it's called, a perk.
Percolation test. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is,
Well,
we could go on all day,
But that's why I'm looking at this and I'm saying the general public would not know what a perk test is.
They wouldn't know what a
Unless
percolation
you-
test was either.
Yeah,
They could at least
So
Google
I
that.
mean,
Perk you can't, if you do PERC, you're not gonna get anything. But if you put percolation test, let them look it up. Google
Well,
it.
if we're gonna be meeting on Monday anyway,
Mm-hmm.
we could make, have these changes.
When did we get this? Because we only have 30 days to get it back.
Tracy, do you know the date?
if I Googled perk test and percol,
PERC?
P-E-R-C,
Okay, then,
P-E-R-C test.
I'm just saying, that's the only thing that so far that
well,
popped up.
that's,
So moving forward, we'll use 0 abbreviations.
Yes.
0 abbreviations.
So that we are in full compliance.
I don't think,
Are we within the 30 days right now to have these
Um,
minutes?
Yeah, when did I see that? Hold on. Yeah, it's not that long ago. I sent it to you on the 26th, so,
Six,
yeah, got it on like the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
25th.
So-
They came in on the 25th. So more than enough
it's gonna
time.
go to
If
Lisa,
there's-
potentially go to town council and then go back to the
We
state, so.
can see if it's necessary to have it go to town council. I'm happy to take the amendments and we can ask and then come back on Monday when we have our brief
And
meeting
just
and
vote
add
it in?
this to the
Yeah.
agenda then.
Yep.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference for me, I'm just saying that if town council's involved in a portion of it, why wouldn't they be involved in the resolution of it? That's just my opinion,
So we'll table it till the next meeting and get some
Monday.
questions
At least to
answered.
just
Confirm
look it over and
Yeah.
compare it with
Mm-hmm.
what the determination was, that's all.
Okay,
That's the official copy, so
official. So I will
that's her official.
address that.
So we're gonna
Will you
wait
send me-
before we sign it? I already signed it, but they can do that.
Okay.
So hold on.
All right, The next item is office coverage. I think
Yes.
Arlene put that.
Yes, I did. So in the past, generally, and I think generally what happens is when the administrative assistant is out of the office, the department head covers the office to make sure that the office is open and available to townspeople to come in. So when Teresa was on vacation, there was a person who came in a couple of times, and every time they came in, the office was closed. And that's a problem because people were coming back and forth when they thought that the office was going to be open. And when I mentioned it to Gil, he suggested that we hire somebody to cover the office when she's out. That's never been a standard practice. We don't have money to hire anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there needs to be some clarification on what the expectation is when she's on a planned vacation, what the office coverage will be, because it's always been that the agent covered to make sure that the office remained open.
Stacy, you're understanding that the agent covered every minute of,
The whole week. If she's out for the week,
so
the
he can't
agent,
leave it all.
there's gotta be somebody in the office. For lunch, yes, but he's gotta plan other things around the necessary office coverage.
Well, if
You know,
it's,
you can do things Friday afternoon after the office is closed.
if you're assuming that it's full coverage, how would you do anything else? How would you do your normal job duties?
You have to build it around.
No, I'm saying if the administrative assistant is out for the
Yes.
entire week on vacation,
Yes.
how would the health agent perform any of his other duties if he's in that office
He
all
would
week?
schedule them either before or after, or Friday afternoon, when they're not, there's offices. That's what they've always done in the past.
I'm just comparing it to the other departments when the administrative assistant is out in building.
Yes.
It's limited hours. Or the building inspector's out, it's limited hours.
It's not,
There's not fully staffed
it usually is.
coverage.
No, all the offices, please, answer this a little bit, please.
What is,
It's always been, the health agent doesn't stay full-time. When, she takes three weeks vacation a year, okay? And it's never been to my knowledge that the health agent stays here the whole time that the person's on vacation. And I'm going back 30 years here. If you walk around this building here, you'll see clocks on every door. When the administrative assistant's on vacation, the building department, he goes out on inspections, just like I do. He puts a time of return when he comes back. And that's the way it's worked for as long as I've known.
the clock? Nobody in the public knows what that clock means.
Well, we've been told, put it in over the door, because it's almost impossible. I
There's
cannot
gotta be
stay
something
here.
to say back in
You know?
an hour, back at 2, or back
Yeah.
at 3. But the clock, people don't know what that clock means.
And the one person that complained, I was here that day. I was downstairs in the selectman's office, and I was upstairs in this office. And why that person didn't come seek me out or talk to somebody about, because I was here that night when that woman said she was here. And I just, this is what I see how this, you take this weekend, things happen and we go out. Friday, between the building inspector, myself, the electrical inspector, we're at the Venus Cafe. Saturday, Sunday, building inspector, electrical inspector, myself, we're at the middle school, we're at 171 Phillip Street, and back and forth. We did 6 hours Sunday. And Saturday was 4 hours. We're in and out. We're the people that are in and out all the time on the outside.
But she wouldn't be here Saturday and Sunday.
I
I guess you
understand
can
that,
ask
but-
Lisa
So I think
what the
what gets,
expectation is.
I think where this gets a little dicey if we're too rigid is,
Oh, right.
for
Yeah.
example, if you have, issues that come up in a food establishment that require you to go out right away, you have to be able to have that leeway. So,
Plus the fact that also septic systems. If you realize, a septic system, the average amount of inspections at a septic system was 3 or 4 times in the course of the installation of that septic system. And we're out all the time. I'm not
Right.
saying myself, all of us inspectors are out all the time. You can't tie us to the office. It's almost impossible. And every office is the same. He leaves, the office gets closed. Conservation leaves, the office gets closed.
To his point, do we really want to get into paying a contracted inspection on something? Because that stuff's all time sensitive. If someone requests an inspection, whether Teresa's out on vacation and we're expecting Gil to stay in that office all day, all week. So now we're gonna pay to have Colin or Jim or someone do his inspections and his job for the day. I mean, I think limited hours for coverage, as long as we have some, maybe we should get a new sign, maybe something.
Definitely a new sign,
Maybe
definitely a new
It's
sign.
That just says,
Oh, yeah, definitely a new sign.
something just simple that says, you know, staffing limited this week, in an emergency, call this number, we'll be back at this time, or, you
The
know,
clock
something
is
pretty
standard practice
basic.
for
that's-
all offices,
For here,
for the whole building.
right, but that doesn't mean the public understands it.
So, I mean, I think, you know, my take on this is that Gil has to have the freedom to come and go to some degree. I mean, you can do a little bit of planning on things that can be scheduled around known vacations.
Right.
So maybe it's just a matter of improving the signage so that.
Yeah, what I
we know
try
what
to
the
do, when
clock
she's
means.
out, I try to.
8 to 12 this week
redo
or
it,
something,
you
you
know?
know, just,
Right,
that's it,
or
just
I'll- you know,
communication.
Right.
Went out and we'll be back at whatever time.
I mean, 70% of the time I leave the office because I have to go someplace, or calls, or complaints, you know, and it shows because these offices have been two-people offices for 60 years in the town of Hanson.
Right.
Nothing's changed, you know? And it doesn't seem like this top floor, anybody wants to change anything in the near future. So we're all out there, and, you know, and the amount of inspections that are being done, probably within the last 3 or 4 years, we're probably 3 or 4 times out more than we normally go out. Some of these systems are getting more complicated, and you're out, you know, some 5 or 6 times, a guy runs into a stump hole and he's digging something, you're out again. You know, it's not like, and I work constantly, it's not like I'm sitting waiting for the phone call or the phone to ring, you know?
So Arlene, do you have a solution on the signage? What do you think would work better?
It's definitely got to be, I think at Havel, we have a clock, and it's very clearly, and it says, that's probably already here, we'll be back at.
Okay.
And then you move the clock to show we'll be back at.
Isn't that what the clock says? Mary's the one that bought us that
No,
clock.
I don't,
All the offices
We'll
have
return
that
it.
clock.
Yeah, I think, cause Mary bought that
It already
clock.
says that.
did she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
Mary's the one that bought it, yeah. I think that's what it
What
says.
was the particular issue that someone came in and?
She came in
was it
twice,
about-
2 different times. She came in one night,
Was it an emergency or something?
I don't even know what she was looking for.
She was
Lisa
looking
could
for,
tell you. She came in looking for something.
she was looking for a transfer station sticker. That evening, I was down in the selectman's office with, I forget what it was we were talking about there. We had to go down, the movie thing. So I went down there, came back up, and next thing you know, the next day, I wasn't in the office. I was here. I was in the
The
building.
woman
I
came
was here.
twice.
Okay,
It was a
so,
bigger problem before when people needed to get stickers, transfer station stickers, and it fell on other departments, because people were then having to go downstairs, they had to go to the treasurer's collector, or they had to go to the clerk, or they had to go someplace else.
The other option is that, you know, we use the email blast from the Board of Health. We can
Right, this
send,
limited coverage.
when you leave on whatever day, you can send a quick email blast saying limited hours at the Board of Health office through the next week.
Right.
I mean, just if we have someone out on vacation, maybe just during that week, we
Do
put something
vacations here.
very simple on the door
Yeah.
along with the clock. I mean, I think.
I don't want to comment on with this, but I don't want everybody in the whole town knowing when I'm not gonna be around and my house is empty.
Yeah.
So I don't feel comfortable doing that,
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's easy enough to look up where
I've been
somebody
coming in
lives.
here a long time and I'd walk down there and the door would be shut and the clock would say, we'll return at that time. Okay, I mean, I've always understood it, but,
Yeah,
I mean, what do I know? I don't know. I mean, it seems like a pretty basic system that,
and you know
Someone could
yourself
get it.
that there's more and more inspections happening all the time. You know, the housing
Well, yeah,
code's being changed now,
I
okay? They're gonna
agree. And the
change
work
housing code
outside
in
is just
April.
as important as the work that happens
You know,
inside.
it's
And I don't think,
insane. You know,
I mean, I think we're, kind of just going around in circles. I mean, okay, maybe. a
I
website
consider
or
myself a
something.
good employee, and I do my job, and I do my job good.
So let's just make the sign more obvious during vacation weeks that the clock is officially in use and needs to be attended to.
You gotta get a bigger clock. You know, they were all, every door's got one. You know, and they're all the same size,
Because
so.
Mary bought them all.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Is that worth
Oh,
trying?
yeah, it's worth trying.
Or maybe we can just, your phone is Board of Health phone, right?
Yeah,
Maybe if, in an event like that, an emergency, please call this number or something, you know?
yeah, they all, I mean, everybody downstairs has my number, you know, if anybody needs to get
Right.
hold of me, they got my number, so I mean.
Yeah, because I came in that week and, even though I had the key to the office, I didn't know what the paperwork was that I needed. Because Gil had it and I couldn't get it. Even though I could have gotten into the office, I still wouldn't have known where the paperwork was.
Thank you.
So it wasn't just that one person that's flying.
Okay.
What's next?
The fiscal year 24 budget.
Oops.
Most of the ones are all level funded on the budget of the disposal area. Disposal area services, that's why we went 30% on each. The attendant, transfer station, those wages, those are just a standard 2%. And the only real, controversy on the budget is just the disposal and the transfer station. But, you know, it's all your union salaries and stuff, and the benefits and everything, that don't change. You know, I don't see anything really there. I mean, it's gonna require, no question about it, it's gonna require an article for town meeting, no matter what we do.
Right.
And that usually gets figured out by the town accountant. He'll go under, you know, retained earnings and all that stuff, if there is any, but, that's about it. Everything else is pretty much level funded, so.
Did you change the recycling? Remember the last time we had talked about the recycling wasn't sufficient?
Which one was
Find
that?
it. What you had proposed,
The actual sheet here.
is that other? Because it was 9,000 was expended. And only 7,000 was appropriated.
Yeah. So you're asking what the discrepancy is? Why-
No, I was
why-
asking-
Why the,
The last month, I said, I don't think that's sufficient in that line item. If you know you spent 9 last year, you can't say this year we're only gonna spend
Yeah,
7,
that's what I'm saying.
because the cost is going up, yeah, so I'm thinking we need to adjust that. Realistically,
I don't see it here.
it's fourth line from the bottom.
on page 3.
See, I don't have my note on what that was, on that line there, Teresa.
Huh?
That line right there,
What about it?
that recycling and other. What was that on? I wrote down on my little sheet I had,
What is it?
what it was.
It's probably, recycling of TVs, electronics, which is RMG.
Oh, gee, on that. I wrote it
Just
down.
let it
also.
open them.
Yeah.
That goes under recycling. Any mattress, invoices that we get would go under recycling. What else would be under recycling?
Okay, so I just brought that, 23 was 7,000, I brought it to 8,000.
Right.
But we spent 9 last year.
Spent 9 in 2022. 2022 budget.
So that's not even level.
Yeah, we're at 20, we're in 23 budget, going into 24 budget, so.
Right, so the last,
Right, that's
So the
what,
last-
for this year, I don't know where we are with that right now, like, I don't know if there's a way to find out to date what we spent.
I did.
You got that?
Okay, I did, okay, Teresa sent that to me, the expenditures thus far. We are at, original budget 7, expended,
You don't like the numbers, they're not making sense. Your head keeps moving.
and
Are we at 8?
we've expended
9 already?
92 already.
Made two already?
Yes, that's what I was talking about. There's no
That's a
way,
good catch.
if we spent 9, that we can do 7 or propose 8
No.
for next year. That amount has to come up. Probably to at least 11 if we're only,
I was gonna say, well,
these
one
bills
in
are
front.
to when? January?
Do we need to put a 1 in front?
What do you mean?
So far,
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only halfway through the year and we're already
At
over
9.
budget. Already at 9.
so that has to go up to at least 11.
okay.
Now, we just wondered, was this till December 31st or was it January?
Yeah, it's probably, I think the RBG, or whatever the hell it is, bill is probably a January bill,
Okay. But it's
I'm
about,
thinking. Yeah.
it's not 2 months out.
No.
It's per month.
No, but I mean, I don't know, when she totaled this, did she have all of
RMG.
December in? Did she have most of January in?
She just sent this to me, so it's,
That would not include this invoice.
That one.
Right.
Mhm.
And what is this invoice, hold on. This is probably January. Yeah, the date is, it's January 31st date,
All
so,
right, so that's
yeah.
for that bill?
So it's
What's the
another
total?
783.
On top of that,
Mhm.
783,
so,
to the 9 that we have.
yeah, so that's,
And that would bring it as up to date as we have bills.
it's a big jump.
I'm just looking at a thing here, we could use, funds to reduce that if it's strictly, e-waste or something, so.
Really?
I'm looking now. That's the thing you gotta look at, some of the stuff as far as batteries and stuff like that.
Right, but if you,
If we can use the funds to reduce those particular items, or we can't, reduce the total number, cause
Right.
it's too integrated. So we'll look into that again too,
Alright.
so. We'll change that number, we'll change it to 11, so.
Yeah, because it's better to ask for more and then find
Yeah.
another way to supplement the budget,
Right.
than to not ask for enough and keep going back and people feeling like they nipped and dime.
Well, like I say, Claire and I went over, she was in the office, and we talking to Todd and everything, because Todd's gonna be making contact with us anyhow about spending some of them funds before we get in
Oh,
trouble.
he definitely will.
Okay. Do we need any motion on that, Teresa?
Was it, on the budget?
No, you don't need a motion
Okay.
there.
So moving on, capital improvements, Frank, Melissa had asked, if we had any and all wish list items for capital improvements, from our office.
How much money does he have and how much time?
Well, I mean, I think
You want all new compactors?
I think the message is that,
There's nothing.
it's a wish list, and let's get it
The
on that.
generator, we talked about a generator at one point, and I don't know if that was on the wish list or not on the wish list. Did we need it, did we not need it?
I don't think we should be spending any money on the transfer station until we figure out what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But he's talking a 3 to 5 year plan, he's not talking about the next year, I'm
Put the
assuming.
money into Cape Colony.
I mean, the generator thing, I think we've got,
That's blasphemous. Don't say that too loud.
as far as the transfer station, the power problem we had, National Grid came in, they finally did come in and put the spreaders in.
Right, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they put the spreaders in, and they're gonna put a kicker pole in, but gotta get an easement, kicker pole in on our own property, so.
Yeah, they
they'll
made
do
the
that
report
next.
easement. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll do that next, so we pretty much got it squared away as far as the wires swinging and hitting each other and blowing the fuses, so. This last time we had, it didn't happen, so because.
Yeah, I think
spread-
just,
The generator.
For a generator and a it's.
No, I'm saying that, we talked about it, I don't know that it's.
Right, I just
Something
don't
we
think it's
absolutely need.
really needed or practical. It's just if it's poor weather and the transfer station's gonna be closed
It's
anyway.
closed.
So why are we concerned about having power during a power outage? I just don't see the point of spending the money on that. Unless it was for security issues, and again, I
Right.
don't think that's really a concern.
Only thing that we haven't talked about is that building. The building where the swap shop is. That building at some point is going to need some kind of repair. It's rotting and falling apart slowly but surely. And so at some point, we need to talk about that. Is that part of capital improvement? Is that, we put that on the wish list, but we
Yeah,
need
it's got
to
a-
minimum.
Needs a 5-year.
Yeah, but we need to start talking
Yeah.
about that, because that's a lot of space that we have, but it's, you know, you can go in there and see right through outside. If you go in the swap shop, you can see right outside.
But we can put things on the wish list for the transfer station.
That doesn't mean that we're voting on it.
These are not imminent
No,
items that we'll be receiving or addressing.
no.
And if we need to take off something because the transfer station situation is
It's dire and you can't ask for
changing
anything
or,
else.
yeah, the town has other needs, then we can just
That may be
amend our
my only
list.
thing the thing that's falling apart is that building. And then if we could use RDP funds to get the batteries and all that, the light bulbs in a better storage
Yes,
situation
that's-
so they're not outside.
I think that's the most important thing right now, is getting that stuff cleaned up. But you saw from its projection there that it's just all,
But it's always been that way.
Calamity, so-
There's no place to put it.
and that wooden shed was a grant, state grant 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
So we addressed the shed under RDP, but anything else capital improvements wise?
All I can think of is that building.
Just the building.
Because there's
So
no space to do anything else.
repavement, that'd be a big
Oh.
nut. You know, repaving the whole place. One of the pads could be, redone, but.
Okay. Kevin?
Sounds good.
So repaving of the transfer station?
Yes,
Yeah, that could be a big.
In the building.
thing.
there's like holes in the water. I saw a lot of patching up there today.
It is rough.
They had done some coal patching. It's probably old, it probably hasn't been done in a long, long time.
Right. So, catering, Board of Health and, Camp Kawani interface. I just wanted to close the loop on this because it's been outstanding a bit. I think you all received the outcome from my
Yep.
talks with Frank. Does everybody feel like this sounds like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay. And Teresa, worked with me on this so that everyone's on board.
So this calendar is the same calendar they've always used, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
It sounds as if what you set up was more follow-up on their end of making sure that that stuff was in and following up on it.
Yeah, I was establishing a process based on old processes, but just reestablishing it, given that there are new employees and whatnot. And they spoke with Frank and weighed in from their end and asked questions, and then that was sort of the summary outcome of the few discussions that we had.
Okay. And the question of under 75, they don't need SORO. They don't need someone to
No.
because they're not required to have a license, permit.
But if they have a caterer,
They needed.
they have to,
Right,
yes.
right. But if they're, like there was this one person who was going to pick up the food and bring it and she had, 50 people come in?
She can do that.
She can do that.
So we clarified that with them.
Okay.
But they still need to do the paperwork. Well, if they're picking it up, it's not that big of a deal. But if somebody's delivering, because how do you know they're keeping the food at temp?
Right. So I
I think
think
it's all ironed out.
I think we've ironed this
Bottom
out.
line.
Yes, no.
Good job, Melissa.
Thanks.
What? Oh, all right.
Gil,
Yeah, fine.
are you sure?
Yeah, after this.
Okay. And then, agent report. Gil, did you have any?
Well, that was about, the big thing this weekend and stuff, and, like, I'm 2 weeks behind on my reports, but, still, Speedway Dunkin' Donuts, I don't really see them opening up anytime soon. Still waiting for a new dumpster. This is the biggest thing. I went around to all the local businesses that serve food, I found 2 dumpsters that were insufficient. And those would be replaced, have been replaced by the owner of, Indiana Plaza there, he's replaced one, so. We have another one, Venus, this one was kind of questionable, so I think he put a new top on his. But a lot of time was spent with these people. Rodent control back again a couple of times. Speedway's cooperating very well. Duncan's is just dragging, they don't know what they wanna do with that store, but,
Is it this one at,
Speedway, the Speedway,
okay, is that the one we had issues with before?
yes,
Okay.
you know. You know, I explained to everybody what happened there that day, I had to go down there. There's a rodent,
This most recent one?
yeah.
Oh. I'm not surprised, the dumpster's right up against the back of the building.
People don't realize that the days, for some reason, whatever happens, mice are gone right now, and
I don't know where they are, yeah.
the Norway rats have pretty much taken over everything. You know, we're having issues in quite a few places, but, yeah. But that is the thing that's hard on us, the Speedway, you know, doing that. And,
Speedway's still open though, right?
Speedway's still open.
Just Dunkin' Donuts.
And then the episode at 171 Phillip Street, Dakota Partners, the situation there. Now, Dakota Partners hired Old Colony Counseling to deal with the tenants there. And when we had the flood, you know, quite a few of the tenants knew I was there. They all started coming out complaining. And I had to explain to them that they have a person they can complain to, Old Colony. It's Old Colony Counseling that handles the place.
Old Colony Planning
I
Council?
think it's the council, it's counseling. It's Old Colony, but it's part of it. I think it's Old Colony
Are
Health
we talking
Services.
about a building?
Yeah, I'm not sure what
Dakota-
Because you said
Yeah.
176, I don't know.
171 Phillip Street, Dakota
Phillip
Partners.
Street, it was
The
a,
who?
Dakota Partners.
It's the new building,
New building.
it's the new, building that has
40B housing.
affordable housing.
Which one? Down by the train station? Or-
Yes, down by the train
Phillips
And there's
station.
two of them.
Phillip Street.
Phillip Street,
Phillip-
okay.
yeah,
I
that's a-
probably have heard it more
The
as
new
Phillip
build.
Street.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Dakota, yeah,
So-
that's probably the company.
So, you know, so he spoke to the owners again, gonna meet with them. They're thinking about hiring another property management company to improve the, communication between Old Colony, heck, yeah, I think it's Old Colony Elevators or something that's doing it. So, gonna be meeting with them and, get better communication because they tend to call me a lot. And once I got there, I had to check the apartments, I had like 6 apartments had water, so automatically, you know, they gravitate to me, so they're gonna have a meeting, I think Thursday, they're gonna have a meeting as far as,
Is this only in the subsidized apartments that you're talking about?
what?
Is it only in the subsidized apartments, or is it?
It's
The mixed
throughout, I
use.
mean, you don't know who subsidizes and
yeah,
who isn't, so.
Yeah, okay.
but
So it's not, it's one building?
Well, it's 3 buildings, but it's all connected.
It's one structure.
But, I mean, they're all, so it's, okay,
Yeah.
so it's all flooding. The basement's flooding, it's flooding.
They just call it Old Colony, so.
So they have a new company that they hired for
They're
property
good, yeah,
management?
they're gonna be talking to a new company
Has
shortly.
it been open a year?
It's probably about.
Almost a year, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And back and forth to the middle school. Middle school did open up today, but they've still got a lot of damage they gotta take care of.
And that was another water pipe.
And the senior center was Monday.
Was that Monday?
That was Monday.
Another water pipe.
So that's the things that are hard on the list. Those are the things that are, you know, going on. The senior centers, you know, they got insurance company stuff, and same with the school. The school's got a couple of classrooms closed, and they broke like 14 pipes,
Wow, where?
the middle school.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, because the temperature, the heat went off.
you talk about being out, I mean, Carrie and I was out Saturday morning, and Carrie was out Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, into Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
And then back out again Monday, so it was kind of a busy weekend.
Yeah.
That's about it. Like I said, I think I had to do 2 more written reports there to catch up on those, so.
Great. All right. I don't see anything else on the agenda. All right.
Nope.
I will
the meeting to go to?
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.